Hello everyone, welcome to this online lecture. So the topic of our discussion in this lecture would be Humayun. So in this last lecture we had covered about Babur and we'll be continuing our discussion from Humayun onwards. So we know that after Babur's demise in 1530 AD, Humayun came into power and he ruled the empire between 1530 to 1556 AD. Yes. So Humayun was the eldest son of Babur, as we all are aware, and he was born in 1508 AD in Kabul. He was not born in India, he was born in Kabul from his third wife, who was known as Mahim Begum. Mahim Begum, who was the third wife of Babur. So, when Humayun was born, Babur, although he was struggling with his empire consolidation and establishment, he tried to give a very good somehow succeeding or the thought processes of rule to Humayun, which is clear by the fact that he eventually Humayun decided to separate or divide his empire among his four brothers, which was not a common pattern in that time, but it was the fact because of the understanding which Babur delivered to Humayun. Humayun proved to be a very thoughtful ruler in Mughal dynasty. So Humayun's younger brother, who were known as Kamran, Askari and Hindal. These were the three brothers which Humayun had, and eventually Humayun decided to divide his empire into these three brothers. Yes. So when the Humayun was coming into power, his position was not clear. So reason behind that was the Khalifa conspiracy. This is a very popular conspiracy which happened during the time of Humayun. And what was that? So during the beginning, Babur's minister or wazir, who was known as Nizamuddin Ali Khalifa, Nizamuddin Ali Khalifa, he tried to place Mehdi Khwaja. So Mehdi Khwaja was the brother-in-law of Babur on the throne of Mughal dynasty instead of Humayun. So the wazir of Babur, he did not want Humayun to succeed the empire, rather he wanted the brother-in-law of Babur known as Mehdi Khwaja to succeed the empire. So this was known as Khalifa or Caliph conspiracy or Mir Khalifa conspiracy. But rather, after the negotiations, eventually Nizamuddin Ali Khalifa, he agreed in succeeding of Humayun to the throne. Eventually, he himself made Humayun the emperor and gave a lot of importance to Humayun. So this Khalifa conspiracy has a great importance in Humayun becoming into power, and it has been mentioned by Nizamuddin Ahmad, a very famous medieval Indian historian, and his book, which is known as Tabqat-i-Akbari, Tabqat-i-Akbari, a very famous Mughal chronicle which was produced during Mughal period by Nizamuddin Ahmad. He has given details about the Khalifa conspiracy. So after the conspiracy, Humayun came into the power or took the throne in 1530 AD after the demise of Babur. So if we talk about the very important step which was taken by Humayun during his rule was the division of empire. Division of empire. So what was that about? So We know, as I already mentioned, that Babur in his lifetime he had advised Humayun to somehow divide his empire among his brother in order to curb or in order to maintain the peaceful relations with those brothers. So following Babur's demise, Humayun did or Humayun followed the advice of Babur which was given to him, and he divided his empire into four portions. One portion was taken care by himself, another was given to Kamran and Askari Hindal respectively. So the important fact about that is he was the only ruler, Mughal ruler, who divided his empire amongst his brother. No other Mughal emperor did so. So, because of that, it is an important point to remember. But yes, this empire division is also being considered as the biggest reason behind Humayun's failure. But both the things acted in maintaining his empire and also in diminishing his empire simultaneously. So the division of empire was followed this way, that four divisions were there. So in that, Kamran, he got Kabul and Kandahar. Kabul and Kandahar. On the other hand, second brother Askari, he managed the Jagir of Sambhal. On the other hand, third brother known as Hindal, he found the Jagir of Mewat, and Humayun himself had control of Delhi and the rest of empire. Delhi and rest of empire. Yes. So this was the process, or this was the decision of empire, and eventually, Hindal, during the rule of Humayun, he tried to ascertain the throne, and in that process, he killed the governor of Agra and he declared himself Sultan. And in that process, throughout his lifetime, Humayun was in continuous conflict with his brothers because they were more ambitious and they wanted to have the control of entire Mughal kingdom. And if we talk about the rivalries which Humayun had in his lifetime, so Humayun majorly had three powerful rivals during his lifetime, but the common point about them were that all of these three rivals were his